Hello, my name is Dr. Patrick. It's good to have us back as we continue in our series on individual differences. Today we are going to talk about individual weaknesses and strengths. You know, one experience has shown that people don't like it when people talk about the areas they are not good, the areas of their shortcomings, or the aspect of their behavior they are not proud of. And nobody likes to talk about that one because we are not proud of those areas when we display them, either display in public. But one thing has experience has equally shown, and study has shown that every human being, no matter how educated, no matter how exposed, every human being in this life has strengths. The areas is good, he or she is good, and the areas he or she is equally bad. So, because people often feel inferior when they get to know that this area they are not good, and it often affects their composure in public or their self-confidence. So like today, like I said earlier, that when it comes to human behavior, the driving force behind it is either what we inherited from our parents or what we learned from our immediate environment. Like I said earlier, that the driving force behind most of human behavior is weakness, is temperament. This temperament embodies both our human strengths and our human weaknesses. And like I also said, it is what we inherited from our parents, our grandparents. Just like I said, we inherited the same from our face. You can know who our parents or our grandparents, I can trace it, that lineage. The same thing as our characters too are carried along from generation to generation. That's why when you give birth to a child, you can see some aspect of you that are present in that child's life. Now today, from study, I credit this to Tim LaHaye, a renowned human psychologist or behavioral scientist, who has categorized human beings into four that you must see in this life as a sojourn. There are four categories of human beings you must meet, either at interpersonal level, let's say as a spouse, either as a husband or as a wife, or in the school, or even as family members, siblings. There are four categories of human beings you must see, and each of them have their own strength and they have their own weaknesses. And a good knowledge of these aspects of temperament, which is aspect of human individual differences, will help you to know what to expect at every point in time from them. So there we go. We have four categories of human beings you must meet. One, we have the cholerics, the choleric temperament. Then we have the sanguine. Then we have the melancholy, and finally we have the phlegmatics. These are primary temperaments. Everybody you see must belong to one, including me and you listening to me. You must belong to one, and it is your knowledge of this particular temperament, or where you belong to that, know why you behave or do most of those things you do. Like the ones we call the cholerics. These people are naturally self-sufficient. If you meet them, they are independent-minded. They motivate themselves. They don't need anyone to motivate them. They are determined people. They are focused. In fact, their own is action. They don't have time for much talks. They don't have time for much. Their own is action. They are self-sufficient. They don't need anybody, in a group. You find them in a group. They are the first to take action. They are the first to succeed because they have a determined mind. They are strong-willed people. They are born to be strong. In fact, naturally, they are born leaders naturally. If they are women, they are like lions. In fact, they are the human lions and lionesses. When you see them, even their movement, they are not sluggish. Everything about them is action. They don't have time for much details. Get the point? And these people are go-getters. They are pathfinders. They succeed in life where others fail because of their determined spirit. Anytime you see them, they can be doing up to 5 things and still maintain their sanity. They are into this, they are into that, they are into this one, they see that they still maintain their sanity. And when they become a leader, because they are full of ideas, they are full of innovations, That is why when they become, they are born, when they become leaders, and if they are maybe as a state governor or even as a president, that country will be full of activity, action, renovation, construction, this one. You know, when you marry them as wife, you know, they are busy, they are into this business, even they are doing this one, they are doing that, they are active, they are never rested. Their own definition of life is about activity. It's about activity. You know, they don't want, and there's no dull moment. They are not lazy, they hardly fail in life because their natural temperament is disposed to, you know, activity, action. When you see them around you, their own is action. But these people, they have their own strengths and their weaknesses. How will you identify them when you see them is one, you know, they are full of activity, like I said, they are full of activity. They stimulate the environment. There's no dull moment. When they come here, if they are leaders, they want to make changes. The same day they report to work, they start making changes, putting things in order, getting everybody working, and that is one of the areas that. And then they are optimistic. They don't believe in failure. They don't have time. When they have it, they are focused. When they have a goal, they have to want to achieve this thing now. They believe they can get it. They don't really give attention to maybe obstructions, impediments they're going to meet on the way. They believe they can succeed. They are determined, and when they are moving, they don't care the obstacle. They don't like distraction. They are determined. That's oftentimes they succeed where others fail. These are particular thing about this. They are focused. They entertain less distraction. That is why even when they want to have exams to take, when they are students, when they have exams to take like this, they don't want distraction. When any task at hand, they are focused. They want to complete that without anybody, you know, any distraction. And they are self-motivated. They are not this type of people that need people to clap for them to do something. No. They motivate themselves. They don't depend on public applause or motivation. They motivate themselves. They see them, they don't able to push them. Whatever they don't want to achieve, they achieve it. They face it squarely and they achieve it. And then they are time conscious. They are very time conscious. And when they book an appointment with you, keep to the appointment. If you don't have any problem with them, because they believe that time. People say that time is money. Their own is time is life. So they plan their activities. Say, look at what I want to achieve before the end of the year. They give themselves target and they move. You know, they stay faithful to that target and they achieve it. They don't want that entertain less distraction, and they manage time very well. And they are pace setters. Where more people don't see they are good at seeing opportunities. You know, when people don't see opportunities, when they they say, if you do this and do this, you make money. They see opportunities. When they come to an environment, what they look out for is opportunities. When people come and see and relax and you know, there is when they come down, what they look out for is opportunities. See this place. So if you do this thing here, this is like here. They are problem solvers. They set opportunity. They set pace where there is no, you know, in a new environment. They like to make a difference. They, you know, among their colleagues or their peer group or their contemporaries, they are the first to, you know, start succeeding early. They succeed early in life because they start struggling, and they believe in hard work. You know, so they start struggling early, and they succeed early. These are a few things about their strength. You know, these great people, they probably have, just like I said, they probably have the areas they are very, very, you know, weak, or they are not too strong. One, they are very, very temperamental. They are very, very temperamental in the sense that they don't have patience with anybody. Before you know, they are shouting. In fact, they are described as table bangers. When you are talking with them, they have little tolerance for nonsense. When you are talking with them, they are people that like to bang table, bang. They are door slammers. They slam the door. They caught their bluff within a short time. Nonsense. They caught it. You know, they don't have time for nonsense. You know, they are best strikers. They are so impatient. That is one of the major problems that makes them to run roughshod with anybody they find on their way. You see, they can hardly keep relationship. The one undeveloped aspect of them is their emotion. They don't have emotion. You can hardly see them cry when things. They can hardly see them shed tears, even in the emotional moment, or when people are, you know, grieving or sorrowing. They are allowed to shed tears. They don't give it that. They see that, why is he crying? This small thing. They don't, you know, they don't have patience. And they are very, very temperamental and very confrontational. If they are leaders, they don't tolerate confrontation. But when they are not the one leading, they are the ones to challenge